Hello, everybody, and welcome to Roll20 Presents the Sprawl. Did you need a minute? Do we need to just? I need to just say nothing.
Dave did it on purpose.
Yeah, Dave.
Good work, Dave. Nicely done.
Dave provoking the giggles.
So, hi, everybody. I'm not sure how we track what number episode this is because
2.
Yeah, it's sort of right. It's 3.
Yeah, no. But like the first one is session 0.
Yeah, that's definitely a thing.
Not if you watch it on YouTube.
Yeah,
should
but
change
YouTube.
World creation is part of the game.
Thank you. That's I was about to say. I like.
Okay.
I like
all
calling
right,
that episode 1. So
okay, fine.
this is 3, right? It's 5. It's 5 for me, but it's 3 for you.
You asked me what to call it,
I'm-
and then you
we can
immediately
discuss.
made up your own
I
thing.
still feel like it's
So,
episode
It was
2.
a trick question, Elf.
I feel tricked.
It was a rhetorical question. It was a rhetorical question. Anyway, welcome everybody to an early episode of of our new show. We are going to be exploring the cyberpunks today. If you're just tuning in for the first time, welcome to the Sprawl. I've done some GM prep stuff for the episode. So as I was mentioning before, folks in chat, you're going to be seeing a version of Roll20 that I'm seeing. There's a lot here that the players will not be able to see. So just keep that in mind.
Keep it to yourself, huh?
Yeah, and we're at the beginning of a brand new mission. The last mission, I think, went swimmingly, aside from a certain PC being horribly mangled.
I mean, I thought it went really well. Definitely 100% without a hitch. I just got fucking completely mangled. That was great.
Yeah, I feel good about how that went.
Big fan.
Yeah, so
We had a plan, and I told you the plan, and I told you got to have some XP if you followed the plan, and you didn't follow the plan.
I
Look what
was
happened.
trying to help.
Oh, that's right. I get XP for following the plan.
Wait, you get XP for following the plan?
did we not already do
No,
that?
you take +1 forward, actually.
Yeah,
I was
it's also
mistaken.
Ah,
Yeah.
I need XP. I need to get better at everything.
I've
well,
got XP. I've got
you
6
do.
whole XP.
There are ways
Me
that you
too.
can do that. You can follow the directives of the mission, but you can also follow your own directives.
Uh-huh.
So
That's how I got 7 XP.
yeah, keep that shit in mind.
Yeah, because I guess you got hurt and you...
And I was like, screw
Yeah.
the mission.
Yeah.
Did you want Dave? Did you want to change your directives at all?
Yeah, I did. I forgot to look at what I would like to change them to, but I can do that right now.
Okay, well
with
you
the
get
power
that
of the
open, and I'm
PDF.
gonna be excited about this sword. Check this out.
What?
Sword.
Check out this sword. That's
Where's
a good
the
sword.
sword?
Is
I
it
see
my
the
sword?
sword.
It's a
Oh
sword.
man, that's awesome.
It's a sword with a little smaller sword on it.
That's
Yeah.
so cool.
I was looking up cell phone charms and I saw one that was like
There's a sword.
it was a bunch of different swords. It was like the Minecraft sword and then like a Final Fantasy one. I was like, oh, that's funny. So I have one of those. I have
That's
a
awesome.
Star,
That's
and
awesome.
then I have a Mickey Mouse with red X's for eyes.
I like that. I like that sword.
Fuck Disney, that's why.
It's some good stuff. It's a sick sword. I'm very impressed.
Oh yeah, I didn't notice the little X's on the eyes. It is very cool.
They're very small, so you know.
Some good arting. Way too
Hmm.
art.
I'm just slowly chipping away at everything.
So right now, Neat, your directives are behavioral and filial.
Yeah, they're so broad though. I
They're
don't know how
very
to narrow
broad.
them
Yeah,
down.
they're going to be
And
real
also-
hard to hit.
I don't like either financial or prudence, so I don't really know what to do.
Well, I mean, you have the option to create your own directives. These are the ones that
Really?
these are the ones that are built in. Yeah, I mean, so they're
There's a list of
examples.
directives in the rule book that
Yeah.
you can riff off of.
If you look at page 143, or page 151, depending on if you're looking at a hard copy or not. But personal directives, there are some examples. Right, there's a behavioral directive, compassionate, deceptive, filial. Like these ones are from the books. But we can make up other ones as well. Yeah, these are the ones that are in the book are just suggestions.
Oh. Oh my god, illustrious is perfect. I would very much like to pick up illustrious.
Okay, so you want to swap out one for illustrious?
Yes.
Okay, so illustrious is when your desire for fame draws unwanted attention to the mission. Mark experience.
Of fucking course.
Yep.
I mean, I've already played into that, I think, 2 or 3 times
With the
with
fucking
decisions.
White Rabbit motorcycle.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now it's not just get experience for drawing unwanted attention to the mission. It's when your desire for fame draws unwanted attention. This is like stopping to tell someone who you are, or this is some classic Night's Ass behavior, is what this is.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's the thing. This is the like the rocker archetype. This is the like I want to be known. I want rep. So that's a thing.
Well, it's good because rep will let us go up a tier.
Wait a second. Oh god, so confused. Can you fork your rep into your circles?
I mean, this is the thing, is like it's not enough to just bring in mechanics from other games. It has to be really like similar games.
Yeah.
Where it's like the bleed is really your brain like wants.
Okay, I'm gonna pick up compassionate as well.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. So you're
You
gonna
want to be a hero?
trade out behavioral and
yep.
filial for illustrious and compassionate.
Yes, please.
So compassionate is when you put your compassion for the powerless ahead of the mission. Mark experience. Yeah, see, those feel like ones you can hit more easily.
Neat wants
Yes.
to be a famous hero.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there's a lot of
anime protagonist.
but yeah, there's a lot of media in his upbringing that would suggest those are the most important personal directives to have. So I think that's pretty cool.
Those totally
That's
make
great.
sense. Okay, great. Cool. Well, let's talk about between mission stuff. Yeah, because I know, Elf, you've got some stuff to do. I also want to remind you that you have an unresolved request from a contact.
Yeah,
So-
I was gonna look into that.
Yeah, so you're gonna want to think about devoting some time to that.
What was that again? That was
It was Mildred Lacey's
Mildred, yeah.
sister's ex-husband, who is a Krug laborer who's
Okay,
in town.
The Mongolian guy.
Yeah, the Mongolian dude who's like causing some problems
Okay.
for Mildred Lacey's sister.
All right, well, we'll deal with that.
So the mechanical impetus for dealing with that is both that if you don't, I can make a countdown clock for him. And if you don't, you also get -1 to your hit the streets until you resolve that business.
But also, are we talking about resolving it in a phase, or is this something that I would do between missions?
So the game gives us options, right? So everything in gameplay takes place during a phase, but during legwork, if you're like, okay, while everybody else is doing this, I want to go do this thing, we can either play out the whole thing, or there's a move that elides an entire operation into a single roll, which I think is super cool. Normally I hate that stuff. Normally I'm like, but play the game. But the game has been designed such that you can be like, cool, everybody else go do this thing, and I'm gonna quickly just pop over here and run a quick mission that we can montage. So there is a move for that, which is a way you could maybe do that if you want.
Okay.
It's
We
called
also-
conduct an operation.
We also didn't do links at the end of the mission.
Right, because you're contractually obligated to forget how to do those things when you're playing a Powered by the Apocalypse game.
It's true.
I was just looking at it and being like, wait, are we ever going to get more links? How does that happen? And I'm like, oh, that was something we were supposed to do.
Well, since you were just looking up the rules, why don't you lead us through that process?
Sure, yeah. At the end of the mission, each player chooses another character who, as a result of the mission, has a better idea about how your character operates. And that character increases their links with you by 1. And if it would be +4, it would roll over, and you explain why the new knowledge changes the relationship, and then you frame a short downtime scene between the two characters focused on that new knowledge. After the scene, they mark experience and reset links to 0.
All right. So, Flamingo, why don't we start with you? Who better understands how you operate?
I mean, the obvious answer is QQ. I think.
Well, now remember, if you already have a working relationship, maybe you don't understand better, right?
I mean, that's kind of what I was thinking too. I'm
It's
like,
already
the
happened.
QQ, but like, probably actually neat, I would say.
Yeah. Okay.
Well,
Okay.
because like the whole thing was, it went down a certain way, and
And am I going up on my sheet, or do you put me up on your
I
sheet?
think I put you up on mine, but I'm not sure.
That character increases their links with you.
Okay, so you increase your links with me.
Cool. So Flamingo is now 2 for me. Cool. I guess I'll go next because I'm already opening my mouth. Who
As good a
knows
reason
how-
as there ever was.
Yeah. Who knows how I operate better? I think this is QQ, having seen my preparedness for the very specific difficulty that we ran into on the mission.
Oh, the Absalom, yeah. The gas.
Thanks for that too, because me having horrible body dysphoria was
Yeah.
a bad time.
It is a bad time.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a real bad time.
Okay.
I think Cathode knows me better because there was that whole like opening bit.
Oh, yeah.
Slack-jawed at me doing my thing. So
Yep. That was the thing
Oh
that happened.
man, yeah.
I'm gonna have some feelings about that probably. Okay, so QQ. I don't even care what your actual whole name is. You're just there. We go.
QQ. It's
Good to know.
all you need.
Okay. And then for me, I would say that's a trade. I think QQ and Cathode spent more time together in this instance than we ever have, and that you got to know me a little better.
Great.
Excellent. Okay. Cool. So having that sorted out, we can now go into the between mission time. So there's an unspecified amount of non-operational downtime in which you are laying low so that the dark forces of Krug and Disney Bezos and Elixir can chill their shit temporarily. Krug is still at 2100. They're still, halfway through the clock, still looking for you. But they've lost you enough that they're not going to send another batch of cyber dudes to come and rip your arms off. They're just trying to find you so they can do that. So they're seeking information rather than like directly aggressively coming after you. And during the downtime, our fixer has some stuff to
I have
do.
a
So
move.
yeah, do you wanna talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I have a move called hustling, and it's basically like everybody there. I have a couple of side people other than like the main gang, including my gang of like Freyr robots. But I basically run small jobs in between our big jobs, and I'm like the middleman for those things. So I have 3, but I only roll once, and then depending on what that comes up as, different stuff happens. So I guess I'll roll edge and we'll see. And I'll talk about what it means. 12.
Nice.
So
Okay.
all my jobs go perfectly.
Okay, and what does that
with
mean?
the 10 plus. And so what that means is I have 2 jobs that I've picked from a big list of jobs on the hustling list, and the 2 I picked were debt collection and brokering deals. So I have people that like do these things. Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
So I gain gear from the debt collection mission.
Okay.
And I gain 1 cred from the deal brokering.
Excellent.
And I also have access to my gang helping me because I have protection because I have a gang. Which basically means like my gang isn't doing some other thing. They're going to be around for this mission upcoming.
Okay, great.
Cool.
So why don't you tell me a little bit about what your debt collection and brokering deals look like?
So debt collect. I imagine Flamingo's like debt collection stuff is just she has a couple of burly looking associates who she hires out to various groups who are perhaps smaller than corporations, but have things they need to get from store owners or, gambling debt or any of those things. So she sort of like mediates this hire out of thugs to people who need thugs. Like,
Goons, hired goons.
I have goons and I goon them to other people.
Okay, and this is just like general purpose goonery, or like do you specialize in a particular kind of like repossession and debt collection?
I mean, this is like, pay me in protection money or I'll break your legs kind of
I mean, that's extortion, not debt collection. Debt collection,
okay. Well,
debt collection is
mind.
like people owe you
Okay.
things and you collect on them.
There's one specific guy that we do a lot of work for who's like a gambling like a casino owner or something, and there's like a lot of gambling debt that collection that goes on, I would say. And people often pay in stuff because they don't have the cred. So I get gear from that missions, random assortments of things that come into my hands.
Cool.
Yeah.
So this isn't like, this is some like low class knee breaking type of shit.
Yeah, this is some low class stuff.
Good.
But I
good.
also have some higher class stuff in the deal brokering where I've got a couple of people who were, likewise sort of middlemen in various corporations, but have come under my wing, and who know people who need to know other people and hook them up together. Oh, you're a group of 10 mercenaries needs some Freyr gun tech. We can make that happen. I know a guy who will be able to hook you up.
Yeah.
And paid a percentage of like what gets traded, basically.
Cool. So it's a thing, both people, kind of like mid-level people, you can connect to one another, and it's funny that you have like these separate kind of very contrasting businesses, right?
Yeah.
Cool. But as a result of both of them working well for you in between during your downtime, you're able to start this mission with 1 gear and 1 intel.
1 gear and an extra cred, and also my gang.
Right.
Ready to go.
Yeah. So it's cred and gear. Okay. Cool. I can envision a fixer with this move who's brokering deals is just like a dating service.
Yeah. I could see that.
You arrange for the right people to meet each other.
Yeah, of course.
Pretty straightforward. Okay, cool. And then so you have debt collection and brokering deals, and then if you succeed on hustling, you also get access to.
I have the move backup.
Okay.
Which is you have a group of associates who provide security, small gang of 5 to 10 hired thugs, and they give me another move called protection. And if I succeed on the hustling,
they give you another job.
Gang,
I see.
My gang has my back.
Okay, cool.
But if I fail, they piss someone off and they can't be with me. They got to do something else.
Cool. I dig it. That's good. I'm into it. Cool. All right. So you have your. How many was it? It was like a half dozen or a dozen or whatever of these little. It's a small gang, right?
Yeah, it's like 5 to 10, so anywhere between like 8 and 10 at any given
half
time.
dozen or so. Yeah, dudes that are.
Yeah, they're like low level sort of. You can tell them what to do and they'll do it with your voice. Freyr drones, like humanoid drones.
Yeah.
I imagine them looking a lot, as I've said before, a lot like the Advent soldiers from XCOM 2.
Mm-hmm.
Just without any of like the biologicals.
Yeah, they're probably several generations outdated now, though.
Yeah,
like if anyone saw them,
100%.
They would be like, "Weird, that's like the cops from 4 years ago."
Yeah, they're definitely old.
Yeah, I like it. I'm liking it. All right, cool. So you have them available to you. Does anyone else have any in between mission or pre-mission stuff to do? I don't think we do, right? Okay.
Well, I think mine triggers as soon as we get a mission, so we have to do the. Make a deal.
Gotta get a job. Yeah.
I have a quick question about the prices of things, Adam.
Yes.
Can you just give me like a rough ballpark of like what some things that I might buy are and how much they cost? Do we have any reference for that?
Maybe.
It's like I have 4 cred, but I have no idea what that actually gets.
Fair. Yeah. So 1 cred will get you. You have to hit the streets to find the gear that you want for the most part. You have to know someone who can get you the thing. So 1 cred would get you useful information, basic restricted gear like sidearms, hunting weapons, ammo, replacement parts for a cyber deck, unreliable gang members for muscle, or a chauffeur for 1 cred. 2 is like a better version of all of that stuff, plus like a street doctor, more complex restricted gear, assault weapons, grenades, hacking programs, that kind of thing. And then 4 cred is like a discrete medical services for life-threatening wounds, expensive or illegal gear, basic cyberware, hackers with a sense of professional integrity, etc.
Okay, cool. So I'm gonna need to be in the range of like 8 cred.
Yeah.
To get my cyber legs.
Well, I mean, we saw last game that like it was insanely difficult to replace stuff.
Most cyberware is 8 cred. Yeah.
Yeah, and then maybe like 12 if I want to get like a vehicle like the driver would have.
Military vehicles are 8. So.
Oh, okay, cool. Because I totally want to be a hybrid killer driver.
Nice.
Yeah, nice.
My neural interface is the same kind of neural interface that drivers get. This is my
that's super cool.
Oh, shit, yeah. You could. That means that if you have the same neural interface, you could technically like take over my drones.
Yeah, but I don't want to.
No. I'm just like if it was a thing that needed to happen, you have the capability to do it.
And I could take the move where I have like drones if I wanted to, but I feel like that's kind of.
I think that's a driver move. Yeah.
Yeah, I can. So either of those moves I have access to, and I'm thinking about taking one of those later.
Cool.
Yep.
That's good. I have a goal. I need
Nice.
8 cred in order to buy my like Freyr military transport helicopter.
Hell yeah.
Well, let's
A
get you.
helicopter.
Let's get you a job. Let's get you a job. So
Yeah, let's do it.
So yeah, I think that the team is reassembled for this job when Flamingo, you receive by courier a very unusual package. It's brought to you probably not at your home. You're probably like, it's one of those situations where you're out. I
It
guess,
like finds me where I
yeah.
am.
Who are you with when the courier finds you?
Always with QQ when QQ is available.
Okay.
And probably a couple of goons if we're out at like a bar or something where I'm conducting business from.
No, I think this is on like downtime. You're not in the middle of working.
This is like
you're just like
this
hanging
is like
out.
downtime. Well, with QQ for sure.
Okay. Anybody else or just the two of you?
I know at least QQ. If other people want to be there, then cool.
Where are we? Are we at a bar?
I think
Yeah,
you're
of
at
course.
you're at like some
We're at some like AR'd up bar in
yeah. So we hear like the throbbing of bass in the background, and through the strobes there are probably people like dancing in a smoky like lowered dance floor. There's a bar with a big huge like bumper of pink neon that goes all the way around it, and then kind of a like a tower behind it, a column of various liquor bottles and like vape canisters and what have you, and then there's a handful of genetically modified, highly attractive, questionably aged bartenders who are serving drinks to the cool kids who are all around the bar.
Oh man, did you post on social media that you guys were here?
Oh yeah, totally.
Of course.
Then Kathy, who's not like she's come to this place pretending like she was like not caring that you guys were here, pretending like she's running into you, but really she just has no friends that want to hang out with her anymore. And so she sees on social media that you're here, and she totally like stalks you, and she's like, "Oh wait, you guys are here? I had no idea. Like I'm just gonna hang out around you so I don't feel so lonely." Yep.
How about any interaction here?
Going to a bar?
Yeah, probably not, right? I just thought I'd shout it out,
Maybe if he needs to get a quest, he would go to a bar.
Exactly.
You don't have an active quest. You have to go talk to the innkeeper.
That's
Yeah,
okay.
once you find one, call me up and then I'll
Of
come
course,
and
of course.
do the rolls.
So we're sitting at like a table or something, like a booth in the I don't know, probably.
Yeah, we're in some like pseudo private room in the back.
Yeah,
know?
there's some we can hear in the background a like several generations removed like remix of a Joy Division song playing.
Yeah.
And yeah, the two of you are at this booth. And I think maybe I don't know, Kathy, do you want to have your like, oh, hey, what's up? I didn't know you were here.
I mean, we could, or we could just say that it already happened.
I mean,
That's what I'm asking. Do you want to have that moment, or did it already occur?
I mean, conversationally, I feel like QQ probably has stuff to say to me as well. If it's, because I got kind of wrecked and I shouldn't have. I don't know.
Yeah, she's probably like giving Flamingo like a neck rub, and like talking to her about how like, like boss, you gotta talk to me before you go. Try to pull that shit again.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be making any direct moves for a while. Not a great plan, definitely.
The thing that I don't get is how, I mean, I know how you get your information, but how did other people know where she was going to be? And like, you feel like QQ's hand just kind of like tightened down just a little bit. Yeah. How do people know about that?
Flamingo, like, there's a sharp inhale of like, it was valuable. I couldn't pass it up.
You think those Krug people could pass it up? The ones that crushed your head, boss?
Yeah. Well, I didn't say it was the best plan, like I said, but I made some cred off of it, so I don't know why you're complaining.
And then like I go from like shoulder rub to like flopped over the back of the chair giving you a hug kind of mode, but it's like awkward because I'm a 300-pound cyborg killing machine.
Yeah, it's like one of those like you're being real gentle, but it still feels real tight.
Yeah,
all I want in my whole life is before I die to hug someone and hear their cybernetic prosthetics whine as they squeeze me with their robot arms. That's all I want. That's all I want out of my life. Please make that happen.
She's like holding you, around the back of the chair or whatever. And it's helpful the chair is here to take some of her weight or you would get crushed. And she's like, look, just don't make me worry like that again, okay, boss?
Like, while you're hugging her, drag off of the elixir, like, e-cig that she has. Yeah, I won't. It's fine.
I can protect you from other people. Can't protect you from yourself, boss. That's your job.
Yeah, like I said, not gonna be getting in personal real soon. Leave that to you. I'll stay on comms if I have to.
And then I'm immediately like super bouncy and like, hey, because I see Kathy and I'm just hey, Kathy.
I definitely like have like walked in. I think that like this place, whatever, is one of the places where you have to actually go outside to get to. Is that like, yeah, you can't just get here from like tunnels and shit. So like I'm wearing this like giant like fuzzy pink like jacket, and it's like I feel like there's got to be some place where you put your jackets. This place is.
I was about to say, so in the distant cyberpunk future of this frozen metropolis, coat check technology has just like accelerated to godliness.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's like the Japanese parking lot equivalent of the coat check where you like put your coat on a hook and it automatically like gives you a tag and then just swoops it away into some like distant graveyard for coats.
Definitely. And she has like a polka dot tank top because now she's inside and it doesn't matter, and a skirt that immediately like it has like a neon like bottom color and it immediately changes to reflect like the colors.
Does your dress have ground effects? You're like an expensive car.
Yeah, absolutely. And so
we totally need to describe all the fashion. Yeah.
Hello, what I look like is very important.
Yeah, should have got on that actually. Never mind.
And so she walks in and she does that thing where she's looking around, but she's pretending that she's not looking for someone, and goes up to the bar and flirts with the attractive wait staff. But the whole time she's doing the like, okay, where are you guys?
Yeah.
And then
and we see through your eyes, Katha, the AR overlay. It's fairly toned down in this place because they do a lot of like physical like stuff, like a lot of the lighting and the material in the place is real space. But you're getting everybody's like public like social media counters. Like you can immediately judge how popular everyone is in the room compared to everyone else based on their little like meters.
I feel like mine is still way higher than it ought to be. Because it's like still ticking down from like, oh, she's not popular anymore.
Like a slowly dying YouTube channel.
Yep, that's what like Catherine's
the views are down,
social media thing is. But she's still like she posts like a selfie like with one of the bartenders, and they're probably like programmed to be like, oh, selfie time. Okay, like we're getting social media, like tag it, like geotag it. Like this is a thing. And so like it would pop up if you're watching that at all, QQ, it would pop up that I was here and you'd be like, okay.
Yeah, and I just like hug ambush you out of nowhere. And yeah, QQ's wearing like one of those jackets that's like real short, a little like only over the shoulders basically jacket. And then just like tube top and super tight tights that are all like I don't know, I think tube top is zebra print, tights are like gold lame or something. Nice. Like just super shiny. And she just like flomps onto you and then like buys you a bunch of drinks and drags you back to the booth.
All of the drinks are pink.
Yeah, and her goal is just to get you super drunk.
Oh god. Okay.
This is like, the word, like all the shitty, like big sister getting their little sister drunk story.
And I'm still really weird around you, like the whole time. Like you do the like hug, and I'm like, oh, you're a killing machine.
Yeah. So while you're doing that, I think you see across the bar, there's a brief, like argument between a group of three. They're like Siberian or Inuit, like laborers. They're dudes that are wearing, they're still wearing like their kind of like Krug overalls. And one of them is bumped into a group of like kind of pale, scrawny, kind of greasy looking like Chinese teenagers, and they're all dudes, and they're wearing basically with the equivalent of like going out pajamas. Like they have sweatpants and like sweat stained t-shirts, and they have all these big like rigs on. They have like big VR rigs on. And one of them is bumped into one of these Inuit, these like laborers, and the laborer dudes are like yelling at them about like, you spilled my drink or whatever. And there's a bartender trying to be like, whoa, hold on, like everybody calm down. It's not escalating to like a gunfight, but this little ruckus like pops up across the bar as a background object as you interact. And then you sit down at the table. And one of the waiters brings you your cyber drinks. And
oh, Kathy, you hang out here too, huh?
I mean, I've never been here before, but there was a lot of social media, so I decided to come and take a look. It must be on the up and up. It looks great, and like you can see, like she's definitely like in her overlay, like looking at like all the AR and not actually at the place. Like she's more impressed by the technical aspects and the like.
It's actually interesting because Kathy's like all looking at the AR stuff, but Flamingo has very little of that, like up as much as she can, like as much transparency to like the real thing as possible.
Yeah, QQ's is always turned down so that I can see people I need to murder.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, so I guess we drink and socialize.
Yeah, sure.
I take pictures of all of my drinks and I like put like cute little like stickers on them, and you can like see them in the AR. Like when I make little like pink bubbles like come out the top, and it's super great. Like the more drunk you get, the more she's just like totally like doing it to your drinks too, and like interfering with your AR. Like, hey, look at that.
Since everybody else described what they're wearing, I guess I should get on that. I should get on that train. Yeah. I think color-wise, I'm a little more subdued, other than the pink hair. Wearing a coat that is like long, but not heavy. I don't know how to like describe clothes. I'm real bad. Yeah,
I'm secretly glad I'm like not there. I'm like,
I have pants.
It's like very clean. Like she looks very sort of like sharp angles and straight edges. One of the sleeves is obviously just sort of hanging because she's missing an arm. But there's a Freyr logo, just like the Y with the sword through it, like on the breast of the coat.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That's kind of it.
Cool. So you're sitting and talking and doing AR Snapchats at each other, and the door opens. There's sort of an airlock because it's freezing outside, but that it opens, and there's some like ruckus as you hear the bouncer, like bouncer outside be like, "Hey, you can't bring that in." And there's someone's like, "Just hold on, just I'm only gonna go in for a second. I'm not actually I don't have to pay cover. I'm not staying. Just God." And like you see someone push by. And there's a guy who's wearing like ski goggles that he's got put up on his head. He has a cluster of like kind of frozen like dreadlocks coming out of the back of his head. He's dark skin. He's wearing a puffy jacket but shorts. He's got like shorts that stop at his knees. He has some like faded like dark like probably UV tattoos that glow when he comes in, and then he's got a pair of very like unseasonal shoes, like high tops, basically like Converse high tops. They probably also have ground effects because the future. The object that he was being told not to bring in is his bicycle, He has it like over his back. It has huge snow tires, and the snow on them is rapidly melting and dripping onto the glossy tile floor. Under the bike, he's got a big messenger bag, big shoulder bag that looks like it's made out of like recycled like Kevlar or something. It has this kind of like carbon fiber like weave to it. And he kind of like pushes his way into the bar and like takes his bike off his shoulder, and he puts it down on the floor, and he turns a key in it and pulls it out, and the bike's wheels kind of fold into each other and the spokes like interlock, and then it makes a series of kind of aggressive sounding beeping noises, and he like pulls the ski goggles up and kind of like rubs his eyes, and he's like looking around the room, and even from here you can see one of his eyes is doing that kind of like reflective thing that cheap cyber eyes do when you shine a light directly into them. You see him like scoping out the room, looking for
just like sidelong, like what the hell is that?
I think everyone is looking at him like.
Yeah, there's like a lot of people probably looking at him.
Yep. Yeah. So he kind of pushes his way through the crowd, makes a long curve around the Chinese teenagers and the laborers who are now friends. They're all standing around smoking cigarettes together, and he pushes his way towards you. He's definitely headed in your direction.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we'll wait and see. I suppose if he arrives at our table. This looking to the others, I'm like, this is the most conspicuous thing I've ever seen.
And Cathode is like totally like cutely drunk, and she takes a picture of him and like starts like drawing on it, like,
Yeah.
and she's just like giggling in the corner and being like, that guy is
So yeah, this guy, it's funny because he is pretty conspicuous, and he's carrying this big bag with stuff in it. The flap is not quite closed, like it's got bungee cords like holding it from popping open because the bag is all like full of stuff. He is conspicuous, he is like carrying a big load, but he moves through the crowd without touching anyone. Like he's able to, like, he pivots on a heel and like turns, and people move around him, and he doesn't bump anybody, and he moves quickly through the crowd. He's obviously done stuff like this before. He's practiced moving through crowded spaces. And he comes up to the he comes up to your table. Like, he just walks up to the table, and as he is, like, he's a few paces away, and as he's walking towards the table, he flips the bag around in front of him, so it's like kind of in front of his belly, and he's undoing one of the cords and reaching into the bag.
And I like take like the image I was drawing from my like the front of me. I like grab it and like push it forward, and like you can see it like reflected on him.
Well, that's the thing. I think you grab it and you're like, all right, I'm ready, and you throw it into his AR sphere, and it just comes apart. It's like raindrops hitting a greased pane of glass. Yeah, it just turns into little voxels and kind of scatters on the floor.
I give him my best raised eyebrow of like, can I help you?
And I obviously interpose myself.
I was about to say, yeah.
Like, he doesn't make it anywhere near Flamingo. And there's just like my hand with my perfectly like beveled triangle fingernails that are like scarab shell, like black with the green and yellow iridescence. Like one of those just goes out and just like right on his chest to stop him.
He stops before you touch him. We get a close up of your hand about an inch from his sternum. He's got the bag underneath, and you just put your hand up, and he stops, puts his hands up, and he's like, whoa, okay, Yojimbo, hang on. And he like digs through, and you can see he's got a bunch of you can see like the QR codes of like shipping labels and stuff on various packages, and he's got a cardboard cylinder kind of jammed in there. And he reaches in and he pulls out a white square of something, fiber, paper, something, just like a rigid square, and looks past you at Flamingo, and he's like, letter for your friend.
And I'm like, yeah, and just like snap it out of his hand.
Yeah, I just like wait for QQ to grab it.
Yeah, so you take it, and the AR around it immediately starts to blink like a red warning. So you're holding it, and there's a little like red triangle with an exclamation mark in it, and it's blinking. And there are calligraphy looking like characters scrolling underneath it that say like unauthorized.
I just hold my hand out like for her to pass it to.
I'm surprised nobody bats an eye at being called a letter. Like that is so archaic.
Yeah.
Well, maybe
Yeah.
that's not though. Like,
I mean, he's calling it that, but it's not, right? Like it's just a single piece of material.
Yeah, it's not an envelope, right? It's just this one, like a
Yeah,
Like
it's like
a
how
tablet.
email isn't mail, right?
Yeah.
Like a video isn't video in the same way that we expect it. It's a skeuomorphic way of referring to something. But yeah, don't get me wrong. It's not like an actual letter.
yeah. So yeah, I look at it and I look at him and I just like pass it behind me without looking.
Without looking away.
Yeah.
I take it from the hand that you've stuck behind you and look it over.
Yeah, so you've got it, and the little thing fades away, and instead in the AR above it, there's a actually nothing above it appears. There's on the paper a gold. It looks like a like gold print embossed on the thing of a thumbprint appears and just like glitters faintly on the surface of the paper.
I do the inevitable scan here, assuming that it will take my left thumb because my right thumb is gone.
Yeah. So you're looking at it, and QQ is still standing. This guy hasn't left. He's just standing there. And he's kind of like looks. He's like,
Need me to sign for it, honey?
and he nods. He puts his hand out, and you can see he's got this complicated like wrist computer with a little like palm thing that flips into his hand, and it brings up just a little hollow like an AR display for you to sign off on.
I'm totally into like his like tech.
Yeah, it's a bunch of different things that he or someone else has like kludged together, and it's kind of like one of those like it extends the little thing in his hand because he needs his hands for his bike, but he flicks his wrist and the little reader flips out into his palm and then displays above it.
Oh my god, drunken Cathode would totally attempt to like get up in his face and be like, "Oh my god, look at this! But you could have done this part better." Like,
Yeah, QQ is just like grabs your face, holding you back while she's signing this thing.
oh come on, it's cool. Please.
My friend is very excited about your tech. As I'm like signing.
But like that part there is like totally wonky. You could just feed this into this, and she just goes on to this other like this whole like thing about like how if you just like did some really complicated thing, it would look nicer and neater and like flip out faster or something.
Yeah.
And then I lean in real close after I'm done signing, and I'm like, if you want her number, I know what it is.
Yeah, he looks over at you, and you can see him like thinking about it, and he's like, shakes his head. And yeah, you're cute and everything, but this whole like aggressive nerd thing's turning him off. So he's just like, yeah, no, I gotta, thanks. And the thing flips back over onto his wrist, and he like flips his puffy jacket. You can see he's starting to sweat. Like you can see sweat like beading around the edge of the goggles because he's still wearing his big coat. And he's like, yeah, all right. And just turns around and starts to navigate his way back through the crowd.
Yeah, it's one of those like best be on your way before you catch heat stroke kind of moments.
After he like does the whole like nah, like Cathode just like slumps into her chair and like pulls like magnifies the her like social media thing and like watches the numbers like tick down. She's just like
Goes from like sort of happy, enthusiastic drunk immediately to like sad, losing subscribers drunk.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so you Flamingo, you put
Yeah,
your
I
thumb to
scanned
the...
my thumb on the.
Okay, sure. So it blinks a few times. It makes a gentle sort of chiming sound, and the AR display flickers a few times, and then turns into a like that same sort of flowing gold like script kind of floating above the piece of paper, the display, and it has an address listed. Yeah, it has just an address and a room number, and then a time, which is, I guess, probably, I don't know, what time is it now? When are you at the bar?
I imagine like in the evening. This is when you go to bars, I guess.
11:40.
I mean,
PM?
time
But the
isn't
bar
really
is
like,
open 24 hours.
yeah, exactly. Everything's open 24 hours and it's dark a lot of the time. So
Okay, 11:40.
okay, so it's like near midnight. Okay, so it would be for like early. The time would be early afternoon. The next day, it'd be like
Okay.
1.
So I like take a recording.
Actually, no. You know what? Fuck it. It's the brunching hour. It's at 11 is the time.
Okay, it's at 11. All
Yeah.
right. So I sort of record the take it down, like the date and time, the location and the address and so forth. And then
Yeah, I mean, you can just grab it and dump it
Yeah,
in your
exactly.
personal assistant. Yeah.
but then close the AR
Mhm.
tablet and tuck that away.
Yeah. So what happens when you close you close the invite? You like copy it and stuff. The paper, most of it. So it's about like an 8x10 size piece of like white linen, like sort of linen, like fine paper. When you close the display, most of it around the outside edges crumbles. Like it just turns to like a fine kind of powder on the table. And there's a black plastic hotel like key card. Like a magnetic card sitting on the table.
Are there any identifiable signs of like a corporation logo
No.
or anything? No.
No.
Okay.
The card serves both as like an AR. It seems to be like if you visit a hotel, the key that they give you is also like a bunch of other stuff. It's like an AR directory for the hotel.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
all that stuff. But this one has been hacked or modified in some way to just display that one image and then remain a security token for a room in the
All right.
hotel.
so I take the key card and hold it up to the other two and I say, now this is interesting.
And I'm like, a love hotel? Boss.
I look over at QQ like, not today.
And like Cathode was like totally not paying attention to any of like whatever that was, and she just like looks up at you guys and she's like, "What?"
Someone wants to talk to us, and I'm sure not in a official capacity, or at least not somewhere public.
Like us or like you though?
Well, me, but by proxy, all of you.
Yeah, and I like
That's how it is.
QQ like sighs and then like stands up straight and is just like, oh, I guess I have to stop being drunk now. And then I just like do the thing.
Purge.
Cyber body's just like, cool, I'm just gonna metabolize all that now.
Mhm.
That's not fair.
As you're doing it, I'm like, not until 11 tomorrow.
And Cathode, who's still drunk, is like, "Hey, you just wasted a bunch of creds. You fucking fool."
But I at this point, I'm like opening the AR display in front of me to give like Neat a call, basically, or send a message to Neat.
I'm teasing QQ about catching up again.
The message basically, if it pops up on your display, basically just says, we need to meet at this place around 10, like an hour early, basically.
Yeah, I just send back.
Is it a video message? Can I like intrude on?
It's just text.
Damn it.
I send back a smiling face emoji and then a / and then a gun emoji.
Right. Choose A or B.
I send back those two emoji with the smiling face circled.
It's fine. All right.
Cool. All right.
So I guess it's just like wait until then.
Yeah, I mean we can cut to the next day, right? So
Yeah, we party until
We party, yeah.
Okay.
Well, I imagine you two party, and I just kind of like am around. I don't feel like Flamingo is much of a partier.
Flamingo chain smokes for 11 hours and then we go to the
Yeah, she sits around and smokes her luxury e-cig. It's
Do
like
we
a-
seriously do we not sleep at all because Catherine's gonna be so wrecked in the morning?
Yeah, that's part of the fun is that it's like, oh, okay, you want to keep up, huh?
Oh no.
Oh, okay, you're doing that. All right.
Oh man. I feel like this is a thing that like at the Magic Kingdom, like all the drinks you get are carefully monitored so they don't like mess you up. And Kathy's not used to like she's used to having drinks, but they were always like a very like they knew exactly how much alcohol you could take, where your like blood alcohol content was at, and like they made the drinks like all taste the same no matter how much booze they had in them.
I mean, what would happen would be that you would be, as part of your psychological evaluation, your optimal level of balancing entertainingness and drunkenness would be found, and you would never be allowed to or able to drink more than that.
Oh yeah. And so like she's used to like just continuously drinking, but not ever having to worry about like
you hit your entertainment cap, and you'll never get drunker than that.
Never getting pass out drunk or throw up drunk.
So,
to be fair, to be like real, I would get that cybernetic enhancement. I would get that immediately, and then I would just be that amount of drunk all the time.
But she doesn't have it anymore. It was something the Magic Kingdom monitored and like served to her, and so now she's just like drinking like she's like, yeah, I can take this, but she cannot.
Right. Yeah.
And so like progressively through the night, she just gets like more sloppy, and like her like range of emotion goes like up and down and up and down. And like at the end, like or in the morning, she's basically just leaning on QQ and going like, oh god.
So the last scene or last shot of this is like as you're finally leaving decide to leave this bar, the gargoyles, the four teenage boys, they all watch you leave, and whether you notice it at the time or not, despite your rapidly declining numbers, Cathode, you get four new followers. They just have like anonymous like different colored icons for their user.
Twitter eggs.
And they're just eggs, and their names are like hash indicators. They're like 4A, 6F, 22B, right? Like, and they all just have like random, and they just all pop up at once, like at the exact same second.
Does it like, if I feel like there would be like a thing where it's like if they're in your immediate area, it would be like, hey, those guys, and Katha would be like, then like walk out like,
yeah, and like all four of them, we see them all like look up and turn their head as you follow, and then just like all four.
She doesn't notice like anything weird. She's just like, yeah, I'm great. This is
yeah, and then I'm like carrying you over my shoulder.
Yeah, so in the harsh steel colored light of the next day, you're all approaching, or I guess you're entering the lobby of this hotel. How is everyone dressed differently? Catho, do you have like giant hangover sunglasses on?
I mean, did we like go back to like, were we literally drinking all night, or did we like
we can stop by the 24-hour sunglass hut to get you
yeah, like you've got you could buy like cheap
sunglasses.
Yeah, cheap 7-Eleven.
So like, I'm wearing exactly the same thing as last night, except for I have like, they're like, oh god, like this is, and they don't match anything I'm wearing, and I'm really mad about it, but I feel like Flamingo picked them out for me and was just like, wear these, you look like garbage.
Yeah, that's what
yeah, and maybe you
fully encapsulating ones.
And I'm just like
yeah,
like
the 7-Eleven equivalent, right? 7i and Holdings or whatever. They sell like magnum packs of like hangover cure that are really just like low grade stimulants to distract you from the fact that you're hungover. I think that these kinds of stores are like everywhere. This ubiquitous. They're probably actually 7-Eleven got bought by Amazon, and they're probably non-manned. Like you walk in, it scans your retina, and then anything you take out of the store is just auto charged to you. Mm-hmm. There's no one in the store. They all have automated security defenses, but yeah, they're basically just little like commercial pods that exist all over the place you can walk into to buy.
Yeah, like a walk-in vending machine.
Yeah, it's a walk-in vending machine. Exactly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They also serve as like charging stations for the billions of tiny DB commercial media drones that like fly stuff out from their little warehouse space. They're micro warehouses.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay. So you walk in and you get some sunglasses and whatever else you need, and we see you, I guess, coming into the lobby. Now, Neat, are you there already, or like do you show up early or late? What's your jam?
Early.
Yeah. So you're already there.
It's already there.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So when the other three of you walk into this place, you see the bottom floor, the lobby of this place is kitted out in like pale, everything is like pale wood, kind of amber colors. It's got a vaguely kind of like Moroccan coast kind of feel. There are some synthetic palm trees that have been grown in the lobby around a very organic looking pool. And the water is that kind of postcard blue color from like every travel, I think. And there are people like swimming in the pool. And they're all like tan and attractive looking. And it's like walking into an artificial beach. And it's hard to tell when you walk in, like where the desk is. It doesn't look like the lobby of a hotel. There's music coming, being piped in from nowhere. There's probably speakers built into these trees. There's music that's just sort of around, and it's in the soundtrack of the show. You recognize it as like a really like low, quiet version of "The Girl from Ipanema," but it's probably in Russian or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you can hear that. There's the smell of like salt in the air. It's warm but not hot, and and I think you walk into the space. And where do we see Neat? Where are you, and what are you doing?
I think Neat is sat on one of the like disguised as like rocks or like tropical foliage type benches, and he's wearing like what kind of looks like a blazer from a typical like Japanese high school, except it's got he's got a scarf on underneath it, and the scarf like goes out the back and ends in like a twin-tailed thing with like little neon tracers on the end of it, and like the shirt is kind of fibered up, so it kind of looks a little bit like chainmail, except obviously much more fine.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
Yeah, and he has like a sweatband on, and pulled his hair like all the way up just so it's as tall as possible.
How deconstructed is this schoolboy blazer? Like, does it have one sleeve, or is it still in good shape?
Yeah, let's go for one sleeve, and the other arm is like a moving set of, it's like a sleeve tattoo, except it's actually a sleeve and it just moves. It's like a moving tattoo thing.
Cool.
Animated GIF tattoo sleeve.
Yeah, totally.
Nice.
And then like combat pants with like, he has all his gear just in like really big baggy pants.
Nice. I like it.
So seeing Neat, we I assume walk up and I say, I brandish, so to speak, the key card, and I say, someone really wants to talk to us. Sent this to me at a bar last night.
What did I tell you last time? We are the best. Only makes sense. But I appreciate you bringing this to me. I'll make it work. We'll find out a good deal. We'll find out what this person wants. Yeah, how are you feeling now with the... And then I kind of like look at your arm like...
I give you
the front lines.
I give you the best one of these that I can. Fine.
Okay.
Like
good.
one eye's got like a plate over it, and there's an arm missing. She's got the key card in her other hand.
I think by this time I've like woken up and like summoned like Puppy Cat, and like it's finally like gotten here, and like I just like, you know, like lean on the drone, and I'm just like, yeah, all right, like this is good, and I'm practically falling asleep like while this conversation is going on.
So
Yeah, you should worry about cathode.
So let's go and see. Let's go and see what they have to say.
Okay. And yeah, just like trigger something. You notice as he walks, he leaves like little footprints, that like kind of glowing gold.
Nice. I dig it. Yeah, you walk past a couple, a woman, tan, indeterminate Caucasian origins, smiling and laughing at her male companion, who is shirtless with a white towel wrapped around his neck, like hanging, and like little like swim trunks and boat shoes. The two of them walk by you, and they flicker briefly as you intersect their AR sphere. And then they continue to walk past you.
Yeah, like I notice it, and I like stick out a hand and just like pull it through his head and just
Yeah.
like kind of crush it.
Yeah, exactly. He just like kind of flickers a little bit, and then you can see the beams, kind of like a flashlight in a dusty room. You can see the beam from this above you. There's a big sort of disco ball looking thing floating, 10 or 15 feet above you. That's sending out all of these like AR holograms.
Ceiling lit. Did nobody tell them that's so 25 years ago? Everybody knows that those are tacky.
So you
I head up the elevator or whatever to whichever room this is.
Yeah.
Whatever filing cabinet for humans we are destined to occupy.
So
Yeah.
you walk over to, there's a bank, it kind of, like the trunk of a tree sort of sweeps up from the floor in a kind of organic looking, like extruded plastic column. And there's a honeycomb shape of elevators inside that are all kind of moving through this plastic tube. It's all lit with this kind of amber glow. And as you approach and you're waiting for the elevator, I think QQ, you notice that like an insect or something has like crawled up onto your boot. You notice movement and you look down and you see this tiny little like quarter-shaped or quarter-sized like crustacean of some kind, like a little crab or something. And it's like crawled up out of the sand that's kind of like liberally duned around the floor of this place. And you can see its little tracks as it's like crawled up over onto the toe of your boot.
Yeah, and I like flick it up into my hand.
Yeah, you just kind of hacky sack it up in the air and catch it.
Just,
Yeah.
like, catch it. And, like,
Sure.
Look at it.
Yeah, it's a little metal crab shaped thing. It's a little robot.
Ooh, tiny robots. I want it.
I'm like, who sent you, huh?
Yeah.
I'm, like flipping it over and like looking at its little legs, going.
Yeah, exactly. It's trying to right itself.
And like as soon as you are looking at the thing, because I wouldn't notice it until someone paid attention, I'd be like, oh, drone. Let me see.
At the end of its tiny little, like where it would have, if it were an actual crab, it would have claws. It has a cluster of like single, like very thin filament like wires. So they're just like this little anemone looking like cluster at the end of each hand, and they're kind of just like wriggling, and it's trying to move.
I have magnification on my synth eyes, so I just like zoom super close in to like get a really good look at it.
Nice, yeah. So we see it, and then it just goes like, it enhances.
Yeah.
And yeah, on its belly, you can see a tiny little like serial number and like a maker's mark on it.
Yeah, and I like capture that and send it to Kathy.
Yes. And I'm just like, fine. I'm like not as tired looking anymore. And I'm just like, yes, what is this? And I'm like looking through like my AR, and like I've got this whole like other overlay which doesn't have like all the pink sparkles on it, and it's just like, yes, like
the technical overlay.
like I like swipe over and like almost hit Neat in the face if we're all in the elevator. I'm just like so like enthusiastic and like not controlling myself.
What do you QQ, what do you do with the little crab robot?
Well, I would love to like assess this or something.
Sure. Yeah, that sounds good.
Maybe with Kathy's help.
Yeah, I can help. I've got
Kathy, one of the two.
I mean, my edge is 0, so but I can.
Why don't you help me and I'll roll?
Yeah, I'll links with you if you need it. Yeah.
Oh God, I roll so good.
I
Dear. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good.
There's no reason to help, is there?
Do you in
Can I
this? Is it?
assess
Can you roll
separately?
before? Or?
Can I assess separately the thing that you gave me?
Well, you got to deal with the fact that you just failed. So,
Oh, man.
yeah. So sorry, you're asking something, Dave?
Yeah. Just do we have to declare help before?
No,
or can
no.
we do
You
it
can.
after?
Yeah, you can definitely help after.
Okay, I just can't remember for a sec.
Okay. So yeah, I could only give you a +1, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's not important.
Okay. You
The elevator
examine.
falls, you'll die.
Yeah, you examine the little creature.
Oh, hold on.
Yeah.
I'm doing this all wrong. I'm supposed to roll synth.
Oh, you have.
Oh,
you
yeah,
have a
'cause you're
maker.
using
your
Okay,
eyeballs.
yeah, reroll.
So
Using your fancy
There you go.
There you
eyes.
go.
9.
Okay, so now Cathode might actually want to help to bump that up.
Now
to a
I can help. Okay, I'll do that. So I would just roll links with.
Yeah.
I think the 1 should already be in there.
Yeah, 8.
Okay. So that would add plus. I would choose the +1, right? I can do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 7 plus 1. Yep.
Okay. All right, QQ. What would you like to know?
Let me check the handout. What potential complication do I need to be wary of with this thing?
None really. Like it's a tiny maintenance robot. And I think looking around, you can see there are lots of them. There are a few there's a palm tree nearby. And you can see a few of them on the surface, and their little filament arms, their little mandibles working, repairing the synthetic bark on the outside of the tree.
Okay, so these are all little maintenance.
Yeah, it's part of a system of tiny maintenance robots.
So
nothing,
okay, well,
nothing more complicated than that.
Basically, how could Cathode hack this so that we could use it as a little plant on our future business partner that we're about to meet?
Well, Cathode, you can tell this thing has no individual sense. It has no individual sensors. It's part of a larger sensor network. It's like a hand, right? The hand doesn't see. The eyes are somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
So separated from its hive mind, essentially, separated from the central processing unit, it's not going to be able to do anything. If you took it out of the building, it would probably just go inert.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I feel like that's all good then. But who's in control here? So where is that central?
Yeah, building security somewhere. There's a central thing that processes all the orders for these little robots, and usually it's got its own floor somewhere secure, somewhere that people wouldn't wander into accidentally.
Yeah, and so like realizing what it is and that it's not really a big deal, as we're exiting the elevator, I'm just like, oops. And crush it in my finger, and then like flick it away.
Okay. Yeah, it pops, and little bits of silicon, I guess, little bits of internal processor and stuff, kind of crumble around your hands, and there's a faint kind of greasy coolant.
Come on, like I could have used some of those parts. Like it's so little. You don't get those tiny robots are expensive. Come on.
So the elevator arrives with a sort of steel drum sound.
I'm just imagining through this entire exchange, me and Neat are just like standing there, business-like.
Oh yeah, and I'm still dressed like I'm hitting the club too. But
yeah, same though. Like I didn't go back home. Like it would have been very far and long.
My look doubles as stylish and professional. I step out of the elevator, if it's open.
Yeah, I mean this would be, I guess this conversation took place in the elevator. Yeah, so it comes to a stop on the floor that you set it to.
Step out of the elevator, check the numbers for where this room is. Like in AR, I imagine there's sort of like almost like a holographic display above each door as to what the number is.
AR displays in a faint gold light the directions, but the inside of this is very austere. It's like the inside of a ship. Maybe it's got that kind of polished pale wood for the doors, brass for the outside edges of all the doors, and the carpet is a kind of ivory colored, it's very plush. Ivory carpet that leads kind of in a circle around the outside ring as you go through the rooms. And yeah, you follow your AR directions to the room.
And I imagine just outside the door we could take a break.
Maybe? Yeah, totally. You reach the door. I'll describe the outside of the door. So you reach the door. It's this like just pale wood door. It has the number displayed above it, and there is a room service cart sitting next to the door, polished chrome. The cart is empty right now. There's nothing on it. There's just this blue linen cloth kind of draped over it, and it's just sitting there out in the hall.
Hmm.
Cool. All right. So let's grab a break here, and we will find out what the deal is inside this room when we return. So stick around. We'll be right back with more of the Sprawl.